Hi everyone, and welcome to our very first voiceover video on this channel. I am the Cute and Cutie Home Cafe, and today's video is going to be about milk frothing. I figure it is easier to do a voiceover to share with you everything that I often get asked on this channel regarding milk frothing and latte art and just pretty much how we've been using the Gaggia Classic Pro when it comes to steaming our milk for a latte. Everything I'm going to share with you is really just from my own personal experience and everything I've tried with this little machine here. So please keep in mind it's really not from a perspective of a professional barista or something that you would expect to see on a commercial espresso machine. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the what I call the timing or the temperature when it comes to steaming milk. On a Gaggia Classic Pro, you would want to make sure you start steaming your milk at a lower temperature, not at its highest peak. That way, you would get the steam power to last throughout the entire process when you steam the milk. For those of you who don't have a PID installed on your Gaggia, you can actually refer back to some of the earlier videos that we did on this channel. We didn't have a PID installed back then. So what I did was I would turn on the steam button and I would not wait for the light to go off. I would start a timer on my scale, and the sweet spot for me back then was about, I would say, 15 to 18 seconds in. So from the moment that I turn on the steam button, I would watch the timer. When it's hit 15, 18 seconds, I then purge the steam wand and start steaming the milk then. That way the temperature was still rising and it wasn't at the peak highest. It was a way to ensure that I have that steam power build up and help me beat those bubbles throughout the entire steaming process. Now with a PID install, it's absolutely amazing that I can see the temperature. So right now at about 275 degrees Fahrenheit to like 280 is when I start purging the steam wand and start steaming milk. I don't wait for it to reach the height of 300 degrees or so. So I would start purging at around 275 to 280 and then start steaming the milk then. And that always ensure that I get enough steam power to help me get through with the right milk texture and really create that whirlpool effect that you want for milk steaming. The second thing I want to share with you guys is just some of the most often asked questions about the milk pitchers that I use. And I enjoy steaming in a smaller size pitcher simply because I usually make just a single latte. I don't need that much milk. So steaming in a smaller size ensure that I don't end up wasting milk. Also, if you notice, the Gaggia Classic Pro steam wand is not, a commercial size steam wand. So for me, if you use a smaller pitcher, if it's too small, you may end up spilling the milk during that steaming process. But if you use such a big pitcher, you may struggle with trying to get the right angle and you end up pouring more milk in order to get that. So the one you're looking at right now is a Prevo and it's about 16 ounce. Then the other pitcher in white color is from Slow Pour Supply and that one is about 15 ounce. And I think they are the best one for me to steam in just for my own use at home for a latte. Then the pitcher I usually transfer the milk into after I steam is this one right here, and it's about 20 ounce. So I would say between 20 to 22 ounce really is what I prefer to use for latte art purposes, because in a bigger pitcher, it allows me to come closer to the surface without pouring the milk early and start the pour early. So it just a personal preference in a way. Now let's talk about the angle of the steam wand because I have tried so many things before, and what I'm going to show you on the screen soon is the angle that works best for me. And I don't think you're gonna see this recommended as like a professional barista training, it's completely different. So just keep that in mind. Many people might disagree. I just find that this angle works best for me. And you might have to experience it at home, depends on your setup, to really find the best angle for you. Okay, so I left the sound for that part on because I wanted you to hear the hissing sound you're supposed to get when you're adding in air. That's what it's supposed to be like when you first started steaming, add in air. And as soon as the jug temperature feels like your body temperature, that's when you're supposed to lift up the jug a little bit and just let it create that whirlpool effect you're seeing on the screen right now to beat those bubbles and get that silky texture for your milk. Also notice how my right hand fingers are tapping on the milk pitcher. That's how I learned to tell the temperature. So you don't want your milk to get overheated. So once I feel like my fingers cannot be on the pitcher for longer than 2 seconds, that's when I go turn off the steam knob and be done with the milk steaming. Now, just so you know, in this video, and also been for a while now, I switched over to use the single hole for my steam wand. I don't use the two holes that came with Gaggia Classic Pro anymore. Simply because I've tried it and I think the single hole works much better for me, especially for an amateur like me. It gives me a better control during that step of adding in air, so I don't end up with a bunch of unwanted bubbles that I cannot get rid of, and just leave me with a horrible milk texture. I just feel like with the steam one on the Gaggia Classic Pro, a single steam hole works way better. So that's about everything that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you found the video helpful. And of course, if there's any questions you have, please feel free to leave us a comment and I will do my best to answer them. Well, good luck with your bill steaming and latte art.